So in this chapter, we'll go over the numerology. So numerology, or the science of numbers, is all about numbers, and their vibrational bent aids the numerologist to predict the future of a person. Numerologists presume that numbers hold the strength to influence the person's traits as well as the events that occur in their lives. Numerology in general studies the total sum of the numbers that occur on the date of birth of an individual, with the numerological correspondent of the alphabet in the name. So there's a multitude of ways to calculate different things in numerology. There's the numbers of your name, the numbers of your full name, the numbers of your date of birth. There's also the life path numbers. So frankly, there's a lot of different ways to calculate your numbers and a lot of different ways to see what's what. So there's the history of numerology and the types of numerology, and there's also the calculation. So one of the easiest ones tend to be your life path number. So here I got to be a little bit more into the sense of like how the life path number works and how exactly it correlates with the things. So each of these numbers, and there's like step-by-step ways to calculate it by yourself, for yourself. So say here your birthday is October 22, 1980, or this is how it looks like. Reduce the month. So you add up every single number and reduce the date and reduce the year. So you can either calculate each one day, month, year, or you can add up all of it and see how it goes. So in here it shows you the life path number add up. So you add it up, and if you get the 2 digits, which is still not something calculable, you add it up to have, for example, number 5. And then you go into the life path numbers and what they mean. So for example, people with life path number 1, lifelong mission to exert their independence and step into their personal power. Each life path sort of gives you an idea of what you can expect and what is kind of like planned numerologically for you. So each one gives a little bit of an idea how to process it and what attributes you have, in a sense. So each one is quite different, and the one thing that I found quite amusing is that there's whatchamacallit, the master numbers. So the master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. So they are rare, and it's rare that the birthday adds up to a life path number 32, 22, or 11. Specific and common combination of numbers in a person's birth date to add up to this number. Anyone born with this life path number 33, for example, are master teachers. They're healers and great spiritual leaders devoted to showing others how to connect to their own heart and consciousness. One of the most common traits of such a number is altruism. Selfless spirit makes them excellent partners, and they're able to listen with intention and offer unparalleled emotional support. Basically, each one of these numbers are a bit more kind of spiritually connected, and they're a bit more connected to being teachers or guiding people or being more empathetic, and even called an old soul. With the life path numbers anywhere from 1 to 9, there's the wisdom, there's the sage, there's the attributes of trying to be a bit more anything from being interesting to being more quirky to being more apt to things. So one thing I found quite, I would say, interesting in general sense, besides the life path number, is how they can correlate with the tarot cards and their meanings. But there's also the master numbers in numerology, which correspond to your name. So that too can add up to things and explain you some of the parts that might be interesting. So here we have the calculation for the name. So each letter corresponds to a number, and basically, as you have your own name, you put a number under each of the letters, then you add up the numbers together total, and you get, once again, from anywhere 1 to 9. as far as I remember. So that too can be used to guide you in some sort of an adventure of your life if you so see it. So here with the name numerology, number 1 would be just as Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is about action and initiation. So each one corresponds to either action, to being a bit more sensitive, balanced, and harmony if it's number 2, number 3, communication, number 4, earthly energy is centered around fortifying its roots, number 5, free thinking, adventurous, and progressive, number 6 is recognized for its nurturing, supportive, and empathetic nature, number 7, detectives of numerology. Number 8 is all about abundance. Number 9 is its final single digit in numerology, connotates an old soul. So each one, in a way, represents its own path, its own story. And it's really interesting how even these numbers, they also correlate with archetypes. So each one has its own archetype. The initiator, kind of like if you ever went through these tests of are you king, poet, or knight. This has something symbolic with the similarity of how it works. And basically each number has its own archetype that corresponds with its story to a number and how it digests. So there's also the attributes to every single number. So some of them are more practical, some are more with the energy of being stubborn, being lively, empathetic, curious. And each one of those sort of give you an idea of how exactly you could be. Here also in this PDF, there's also the master numbers. But with this, I was quite, I would not say taken aback, but quite confused, as other numbers also exist, which is 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, and 99, are not considered power numbers. Frequency does not rank as master number, so even if it does add up to that, it does not count. So each one of the numerology schools, I'd say, they pursue their own ways of perception and how they see this numerology. So even if it's more than 11, 22, or 33, if it does not add up to one of those numbers, it's going to be a sum of the two, which ends up being anywhere from 1 to 9. Not a bad thing, though. So in here, you can see that the master number is a bit more explained with intuitive souls, with master number 11. So it's a bit more insightful, spiritual, guiding. Master numbers 22 are master builders, so they achieve, they have a vision, they work. 33 are master preachers, so if you want to start a cult. Sun numbers in numerology. So those are a little bit different because you add up your date of birth once again, and you see which would be which. Sun calculation is basically a life cycle of a person. Reveals the personal changes that come from time to time may impact the life of an individual. It also acts as guiding star between chaos and cosmos. Sun numbers in numerology furthermore channelizes all the emotions of a person who possesses it. With it, it also tells about the constant changes one can see with their daily life and adapt to them accordingly. Simple. Add up your, for example, birth date and all of that, and you get the number. So each one has its own way of understanding. So according to numerology, people with sun number 1 are generally ambitious, headstrong, determined, and enthusiastic in nature. Number 2s are more logical, realistic in nature. These people are pragmatic and rational in life. Number 3s, very creative and imaginative. These people are highly inventive and love enjoying the essence of life. Number 4, very hardworking. They like to devote their time to useful things that make them hardworking and committed beings with determination and devotion. Number 5, generally romantic and intimate beings. They love to make others feel special and important. Number 6, generally selfless people. They're highly giving and apprehensive in their attitude. They make sure that nothing bothers the people who are mean to them. Plus, they care and nurture others in the best way possible. Number 7, full of spirituality. They're full of regard and understand the real meaning of life. These people are usually introverted and love seldom talk. So that's gives you a bit more on how things work and what attributes you might possess to top it off. With number 8 are risk takers. These people love to make appearances in the life of people. Moreover, they love to dwell at the moment. However, on the other hand, they act impulsively in situations that look hard to them. Number 9 is considered one of the most powerful numbers in numerology. These people are highly philosophical and spiritual in their behavior. So here with the sun number, it only adds up from 1 to 9. And with that, there's no master numbers, unlike in general numerology or in name numerology. So that's a little bit different, and they have their own kind of approach and way of looking at it. So there's also one other thing that I stumbled across when I went into numerology, which is the angel numbers. Basically, they have a unique vibration and meaning. From our life path number to our birthday numbers to our house number, the vibrational frequencies of numbers hold powerful significance in our everyday lives. Because numbers are everywhere, our spirit guides use them to communicate with us. So here you see how numerology progresses somewhere from astrology to spirituality in their ways of being, in a sense. And then this spirituality goes into many ways and many forms. In this one, it's angel numbers. So if you see a repeating number somewhere, like in 3s and 4s, in 2s, they also have a certain meaning to that. So here we'll look at a few angel numbers that might have meaning and might be kind of like a guiding hand in a situation. I know that some people use the angel numbers to receive guidance or receive intuitive information or some kind of like flash of an idea intuitively. Some believe it, some not. It's up to you to how you want to perceive it. For example, 111's angel number. Sending you a manifestation invitation. This number sequence knows that your thoughts quickly become your reality, so it's more important than ever to pay close attention to your ideas, beliefs, and feelings. What negative thought patterns have you been carrying around? How have you been holding you back? A positive new beginning can't materialize if it's being overshadowed by fear and doubt. Release what is worrying you and surround yourself with positive energy. Seeing 111 angel number is your opportunity to create a future you desire to make count. So each one of the numbers have specific message, and I found it more easier to just, of course, either use the books in the print version that show you how to navigate and capture it, or sort of use internet. But then again, if you use internet, be aware that there is a lot of different websites which communicate these messages in a different way, because each one goes from different numerological school, so each kind of like meaning can differ. So that's kind of like that. So each number can be different and each number has its own significance. With the 222, for example, is that your life is out of balance in some way. This could be mentally, emotionally, physically, or even spiritually. You could be working too much, giving too much in your relationships with others, or putting effort into things that aren't continuing to bring you joy. So I sort of find it that when you keep on seeing certain numbers and you sort of dwell into the meaning of it, in a sense, even if you cannot relate to it, some of these numbers, they bring out the questions or the situations which you start to question and see how it correlates with your reality or what you're doing, to then kind of do your own bit of shadow work. We'll get to that later. So here we go with these angel numbers and what they could mean. Anything from the positive stuff to, I wouldn't say negative stuff, but the connotations that you should learn a lesson and maybe look at the things from another point of view, which is what they mainly stand for. So frankly, there's a lot to numerology and such, but if you wish to explore the length of it, off you go. I shall need a bit of a break now. So I wrote, and see you in the next chapter. That was true. But what I want to add a little bit more is that I found it very intriguing how numbers in numerology, they correspond to numbers in tarot cards, for those that are interested in that. We'll get to it. But that too has their own ideas, archetypes, and stories behind it. So with the numbers also, there's been the whole lot of posted ideas and ways from government official websites, which kind of like resonated into kind of like cracking your brain matrix, so to put, because I think some of you might have, let's just take a moment here. If you have ever seen Grabovoi codes and numbers, that's basically the, oh Jesus, sorry, the things that sometimes attract people. So Grabovoi codes have been sort of invented by a person that attract a certain code to you, so they speak, and based on, as they say, self-proclaimed Russian psychic, invented the codes in 1999 as an extension of the theory of radionics. Claims that the codes can alter a person's electromagnetic field and therefore impact their health, wellness, wealth, and more. The idea is that you can manifest your desires and make your dreams a reality by saying the codes out loud while concentrating on what you want. So that's, yeah, EMF and whatnot. So frankly, each of these codes can bring a little bit of this and that. So there's codes for perfect love, there's codes for improving self-love, attract your crush, bring a lover back, manifest love, manifesting romance, attract your soulmate. There's the wealth codes. Some people who use it, they actually say that apparently it does work for them. For some others, it does not. It also kind of bases itself on a, I would say, belief system, because you kind of attract what you believe in a way. So there's a lot of these codes and general codes, and yeah, you write it down. I know that some people write it on their hands or on their body to genuinely kind of like remind themselves what they're attracting and what they're trying to do. So for some people it works, for some others it does not. But there we go, that's also the bit for the numerology and that little other part which I forgot to put in, but I'll try my best to put it in as well. So off to the next chapter.